What's up guys, Mike here, the Detroit Borg, with a look at the new iOS 9 beta. This is the very first beta and not everything works right now, but we're going to take a look at what's available currently. So this is launching basically with everything that supports iOS 8 or newer. So if you run iOS 8, you can get iOS 9. Of course, the final version will be launched in the fall. Right now we're going through the beta process, which will take all summer. Now of course, with every new iOS release, we get a new stock wallpaper. This is the new one. It's the only new one to pick from here, so if you don't like it, you can go back to the older ones. Search has also been enhanced here. You can now swipe down to get to search as we could before, but you can also swipe to the right to jump into search. Now search includes things like Siri suggestions, nearby, so you can search for things nearby like gas station, restaurants, bars, and parking. You can also see some news items. So again, this is just a way of quickly accessing popular used items without having to jump right to search. But if you want to start searching for things like Instagram here, you can see it comes up right away. We can also expand these out by going to show more, show less, and that works across all of them. So you can see we have quite a few nearby options to search as well as news information. Siri has also been enhanced with a new user interface. You can see the new waveform that's actually very similar to the Apple Watch. Siri has also been heavily reworked, but a lot of the features are not yet working here, but we can take a look at the new interface. What's the weather like tomorrow in Rochester Hills, Michigan?
Nice weather coming up tomorrow. Up to 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
Search for photos I took last December. We also get an updated recent apps viewer with a new animation. So it's more stacked on top of each other. You can see it fades out toward the side as you scroll through them. Of course, you can swipe up to dismiss them or bring them forward. We also have a low power mode, which is available under settings and under battery, which you can click on here. As you can see, when you turn it on, the battery icon changes to this yellow color. And it'll tell you exactly what's happening. So basically, low power mode reduces performance and network activity to extend battery life. This will also use your light sensor, your proximity sensor, and that sort of thing. So if your phone is facing down on a table, it won't light up the screen with notifications. Speaking of battery, we do get some new widgets here, which you can add to the Today tab here. So you go to Edit, you'll see batteries, which we can add. You can also add Find My Friends. Find My Friends is now a standard app with iOS 9. It installs automatically. It used to be optional, but it does give you a widget, which is kind of useful. So let's click Done here. So now you see a widget for Find My Friends. It tells me exactly where my favorite contacts are. And then I can also see my battery life here. So I can see my iPhone battery life as well as my watch battery life, which is very handy. We also get a new Notes app, which has been expanded significantly. It's actually more like a full editor now. The great thing here is that it shows you things that you've recently deleted, so you can re-access them if you need to. We can go right to our notes here, create a new note. You can see some of the tools that are now available to us, including photo insertion. So we can just tap and insert a photo we've already clipped to the clipboard. We can also access our camera roll, or we can use handwriting. So if you just want to use one of these pens here to handwrite, you can select them. Use a ruler if you need it. Use different pen tips here. So if you want to use red, you can select it and just write on it like so. We can also create checklists here. So we can build out our list here and hit this icon to turn this term into a checklist if we want. And then when you're done with the checklist item, just select it just like you would in the Reminders app. We also have a new voice dictation animation. This is a test of voice dictation, period. The keyboard has also been updated to more clearly indicate which case you're in, uppercase or lowercase, when you hit the Shift key. Apple Maps has also been updated with transit information, which has been long missed here. So the great thing here is that we can see our transit routes. You can also see the schedule. So if you want to see the pickup times for this specific stop here, you can just swipe to the right or swipe to the left and see 9, 19, and 29 minutes. Same with the other ones, 2, 12, and 22 minutes. And depending on your route, it'll actually tell you exactly where those stops are. iOS 9 also comes standard now with Find Friends and Find iPhone, which are not uninstallable. Passbook has also been replaced by the Wallet app, basically the same app, just renamed. This time it combines both your credit cards and debit cards along with your movie tickets, boarding passes, retail coupons, and more, but it also combines your loyalty cards for retailers that support it. Now, unfortunately, the first beta does not feature the new music app, which will be launching on June 30th. There's also a new feature that I think a lot of people have been asking for, which is an iCloud Drive app. Now, you can activate it by going to Settings, going to iCloud Drive, and Show on Home Screen. So now if I go to my home screen, I now have iCloud Drive, so I can directly access my iCloud folders. Now, the iPad picks up a lot of the same features from iOS 9 on the iPhone, but picks up quite a few others to take a look at here. So if you swipe down in landscape orientation, you can see our drop-down notification shade has this split view. We now have widgets and notifications, which we can toggle through on the right, and then we have more widgets on the left. In terms of recent apps, again, you can just double tap to access it. Very similar animation here. Next up is the feature we've all been waiting for a long time, which is multi-window or split screen view. Now, there are two aspects to it on iOS 9. There is the slide over viewer, which you can activate by swiping in from the right edge of the tablet. This works in landscape or portrait orientation. Now, this allows us to peek at an app, and then we can dismiss it by just tapping on the main app here. Now, you can change the app that's displaying here by swiping down from the top. So you can now see all the Apple apps that are currently compatible with this viewer listed here, and we can tap on any one of them to bring them forward. So for example, if we want to take a look at Notes, just tap on it, brings it forward. Now, if you want a true side-by-side view of an app, you can see that an app that's compatible with side-by-side will have this little handle here which you can grab and expand out. So when you expand it out, you now have two windows side-by-side which are active, and you can interact with them simultaneously. You can resize them like you want, or you can just maximize the window by swiping all the way to the right. Now, showing you once again how this works. Again, swipe out here. If you want to change the app, just swipe down from the top and select the app you want. Now, if both windows support side-by-side viewer, you'll see this little handle here, which you can expand out. And now you have two live apps side by side. Now, let me show you what happens if you use a non-supported app as the main app. So, for example, if we go to YouTube here, if we swipe in from the right edge, again, you see that handle has disappeared. And that's because this does not support that side-by-side view. Now, if you navigate away from the side-by-side view, you can bring it forward just by bringing up one of the apps that was in the side-by-side viewer. Now, another neat feature is available within the Videos app. This is a pop-out viewer or picture-in-picture viewer of video. This only works right now with the Apple Video app. So I can start playing back video here, and I can tap this and pop it out as a separate window which floats above whatever you're doing. I can resize it by pinching in and out. You're limited here, but I can pause it, I can play it, and I can go back to full screen mode if I want, or just close it out. Now, if you need to, you can really minimize this and tuck it into the side just off the view while still listening to your movie. Now, the keyboard has been updated just like in the iPhone, so we can tell which case we're in. We can split the keyboard, which we could before, but we have these toolbars up here for things like predictive text, bold, italicize, and underline, as well as cut, copy, and paste. Now, a new trick exclusive to the iPad is a trackpad function, which you can activate by tapping two fingers to the keyboard, so you can now move around to highlight text if you want to cut, copy, or paste it. Now, of course, there are countless other features with iOS 9, many which will change before the final release, so you can count on the full walkthrough once it finally becomes available. So that's going to do for me in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. And now once you do that, let's go back home here, hopefully. Nope. Buggy. Oh boy. Darn it.